Hi friends, welcome back to Mark's Speed Shop. In today's video, we're going to be getting this 350 ready to go in the truck. I'm going to show you a little bit of, we'll show you getting it off the engine stand and, putting the thing on it here, the leveler, and putting the flywheel on it, all kinds of junk. So, thanks for coming back. I hope you enjoy it. Watch it to the end. See what's going on. And in next week's video, we're going to be putting this in the truck. I'm still trying to get the clutch and everything on it right now. I'm getting it ready because this is Wednesday and Sunday, this coming Sunday, Josh said he's going to come over and help me get this thing in the truck. Once you do that, then I can get everything done, all the other little hookups on it. So I'm looking forward to that. Hope you are too. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. Right now I am putting on the little Z-bar here for the clutch, little Z-bar piece. I don't know if this block has ever even had a straight gear on it because I had to thread chase these holes and had dig through a box of bolts to find the right bolts. I do thank Jacob Pipes is who I bought that 307 from, and the 3-speed transmission that he had in his truck. Now I was buying the 307, as I've told y'all before, solely as a donor for the 327. Put a little red Loctite on these. For the crank and the rods, and that's really all I was interested in. And he told me, he said, "Look, I'm taking the 3-speed and all that out, and so I bought that from him too." And he threw in all these extras, all these little bolts, all this stuff. The clutch he had in it and all that's in good shape. I'm using a brand new clutch out of the box, but I might be better off using the other one. All right, now this don't want to line up. I'm sure I just need to fiddle with it a little bit. Felt like that motor mount bolt. It was aggravating. All right. Let me take a look at this. Might drag a light over here. I don't want to do it with y'all because it just blinds. It looks blinding on the video. Well, I barely snugged it. When I put this one in first, I just barely snugged it up, and I had to loosen that up just to get this to start. So no problem. Like I said, I put just a couple drops of red Loctite on it. I don't want them coming loose. Tell you something else we're going to do right now while I'm thinking about it is I'm going to test fit one of those headers. All right, that ought to be snug enough. There we go. Ready for the straight gear. All right, let me get one of those headers and just make sure they are for a small block. Chevy, we tried them just sticking them in the truck. I think they are right for that, but I just like to make sure. All right, I ain't gonna run them all the way up tight. I need to take them right back off. How about that? Let me get you a little better view here. Look at that. That's going to be sweet. spindle well headers. It looks like some kind of creature. I want to make a little bit of this work a little easier, hopefully. You know, getting into any of the Z-bar and the clutch stuff. I mean, yeah, the frame is going to be right in here, you know, but normally headers come down, tuck into the engine and come down real tight against everything. Pain in the butt. This is my first set of fender well headers. First time taking the fender wells out of anything. It's really one of the first ones I've fooled with that actually has a frame. I'm usually fooling with unibody Mopars. And I gotta admit, I'm really enjoying this so far. I think it's gonna be just great having all that extra room and having the coolness of the fender well headers. And I don't even think I've mentioned it, but I do have some cutouts that come down. They'll come straight down, come out to maybe about here, straight pipe, but it comes out and it turns over and it has a little block. I'll show you that. And I'm thinking I can modify this. I might have to cut this a little bit, but I can't do any of that until I get it in the truck and see where the fender well headers, how far they come down. I think I can make it work. It's coming together. I'm real pleased. Now let me take that off and try to get the clutching all on it. All right, I've done a little bit off camera there. I guess the main thing I did was I dug out my leveler thing here, found my chains. I'd used them on pulling a 6-cylinder out and didn't use this part. So I had to dig them up and get it all together. And yes, I did leave a distributor in it for now. Let me see if I can get it over. I know everybody's yelling now, oh, you can't do that. I might not can. But the way I've got the chain, I got it twisted around. The distributor is not having any pressure put on it right now. Now I'll see once I get it off here. If it swings back and hits it, I may have to take it out. But right now, it seems to be all right. And I'd like to leave it in if I can. So, I've got it loose back here. I've started jacking it up. See if I can get it off the engine stand here. Well, there we go. She's a hanging, distributor's still loose. So that's good. All right. Now, let's look at the back of it and see if I can get the pilot bushing in, the flywheel on, and maybe even the clutch. The reason I'm trying to get all this done in this video, which this is, well, this day is Wednesday. I usually try to do most of my work on Wednesday that I can. This is Wednesday, so this coming Sunday, this video will come out Monday morning, all right? So by the time you see this video, this engine should be in the truck. Now, it won't be running. I got a little more wiring, all kinds of stuff to do, but Josh is coming over this coming Sunday, which will be yesterday if you watch this when I drop it. But anyway, he's coming over Sunday to help me fit it in, get it in, and hopefully get the clutch in all right and the bell housing to the engine hooked up and the motor mounts hooked up, get the engine in the truck. And once we do that, then I can go in and worry about the alternator and the wiring for the coil and, all the other stuff. So one step at a time, every little bit you do gets you one step closer. So that's why I'm doing this now, and I need to get the flywheel and all on, at least that. I'd like to get the clutch and all on the engine, but we'll see how it goes. So y'all, hang in there. Yeah, these aren't real tight. I had loosened them with the wrench, before I took the weight off of it. I don't think I had it on there about to fall off like that. All right. Well, I had stuck the flex plate bolts back in the back of the crank when I took it apart. I like doing it because I guess y'all know by now, I might work on something for a year or more. And you just throw your bolts in a bucket or a box or whatever. Then when it goes time to put it back together, you hunt them all down. You can't find them, don't know where they are. I know that's the way I am. And so I'll work on 3 or 4 different ones at a time. I get a little bit done here and a little bit done there. It's just the way I like to do it. So anytime I can, I'll put the bolts that I take out back in the hole that it's supposed to be. And then when I get back to it, there they are. I don't have to look for them. Now, taking these out, I'm going to stick them in this little bag where I got the bolts I put in the intake. And I'm going to mark on it, small block Chevy, flex plate. Because flex plate bolts and your flywheel bolts are different. So don't use flex plate bolts in your flywheel. So, yeah, they're the same everything except flywheel bolts are longer. The flex plate bolts, it might hold it on, but you got about 1 or 2 threads holding it. So you don't want to do that. Small block Chevy flex plate automatic. All right. I did go and double check on another video to make sure I hadn't put a pilot bushing in. Probably, I think the last one I put in was when I was about 18 or 19 years old, and I was working on that 3 to 3 4-speed rotor, which I still have, which will be coming up. I'm not sure when, probably within the next year or so. But I hadn't done it, so I did check a video on it. And so I got it sitting there. It said beveled edge out, so I have that. Now I took it and slid it up on the nose of the transmission just to make sure, because I didn't want to drive that thing in and then not fit. And I took the clutch disc and made sure it fit on the transmission too. So let's see if we can bump this in here. All right, got the pilot bushing in. I think it's in all the way. It went as far as it would go. So I got the flywheel up here. My crank doesn't have the little dowel in it, so I used the bolt, kind of as a line-up dowel, to help me get it up there, because this thing's heavy as crap, obviously. And I got it up there, and I got 2 bolts. The 2 bolts just started in it. So I'm going to make sure I get it up on here good. And then I'm going to Loctite them and torque them down. So I'll come back when it's at that point. All right, I got 2 in with the Loctite. Got it pulled up. Tighten the others here. Alright. I expect I will put the torque wrench on it. Give it a check. It's supposed to be, I can't remember, it's either 45 or 60. So it's probably 60 for these, and then 45 for the pressure plate bolts. But we're getting there. All right, I torqued them. They were actually about right with the big torque air gun. I put it on it and I got her to click, so she's torqued. She's fine. So, let's try to service us a little bit. I'll clean it up, scuff her up a little bit more. It'll be fine. As soon as that clutch hits, it's gonna clean up. I did get the kind of ceramic type clutch. So I hope it works all right. Should. All right, we're gonna put the clutch disc and pressure plate on. Now, I got the impact clutch. It's supposed to be a little bit above stock. That's about the way the engine is, a little bit above stock. It's about like probably like a slightly hopped up Z28 engine. It's got a little more compression, a little bit bigger piston, aluminum intake, 650 carburetors was going on to begin with, the headers, a roller timing set, stuff like that. So it's basically a little bit hopped up stock engine. But I got the one above, supposed to be one above the stock clutch. So it's got like your regular disc on one side and the ceramic on the other. Well, a lot of things that I look at, they say it'll say flywheel side. Well, this doesn't say it at all. But it's got, this is raised up, of course. So if you put this side here, it bumps this part bumps the bolt. So that can't be right. And most of the things I see, the higher part goes out. So it's supposed to go like this. We'll know as soon as we get it put in. Did come with a little line-up tool. I'll put that in. All right. I didn't buy new bolts for this, but these are the ones that came out of this flywheel that I got when I bought all the parts, and they seem pretty good. They look pretty good. I cleaned them good, and I'm going to put a little Loctite on them when I put this on. So let me get this on and we'll take a look at it. Well, I got it on there. I just put 2 bolts in the top to hold it. It's basically hanging there. I still got the line-up tool in it. Now, I'm going to take the remaining ones and cleaned up. I'm going to put a little Loctite on and put them in and run them down a little bit. And then I'm going to pull these out and Loctite them and torque it down. And we should be good. All right, it's on now. Let me get the air. All right, she's on. Let me get the torque wrench and just double check. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this video on basically the final buttoning up of the 350, putting the clutch on, all that. Next time, be sure to come back next week because this video will come out Monday. As I'm finishing it up today, it's Saturday. It will come out Monday. Tomorrow, this time, my time, Sunday, Josh is going to come over and we're going to put this in. As long as the motor mounts line up and everything's right, we're going to get it in and get it bolted in. Now, we're not going to crank it up just yet, but I still got a whole lot of stuff I got to do, but we should get it in. So be sure to come back on the next week to check us out putting this in and getting it in. I really appreciate y'all watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Just hit that little button. And come back next time, and I'll be here, good Lord willing, and I'll see you at the shop.